What is going on, everybody? This is BroncoJuggalo
And Bill.
and today we have decided to review a movie that some people consider a slasher, some people don't. It's not really a horror movie, it's an action movie, but I still say it qualifies as a slasher movie, just like I say The Terminator is a slasher movie.
The Terminator as a slasher?
Yeah.
I could see it as a sci-fi horror, but...
Well, no, think about what he's doing though. It's some guy, he's stalking a little girl, a final girl.
Yeah, but
and he goes around killing people to get in the way.
Well,
what slashers do.
He doesn't know the right one, though, to begin with.
Right.
He's just using the phone book.
It's what slashers do, so...
Oh, great. They're going to start calling this guy the phone book killer.
That's yet another debate among horror fans. Is Terminator a slasher film? I say yes.
Eh.
Not saying it's a horror, but it's a slasher. You don't have to be a horror to be a slasher.
I still find it to be a sci-fi horror. But anyways, like you said, we are going to do... What year is this one?
1986.
1986's COBRA.
Sylvester Stallone. Mr. Stallone says that he likes your singing very much, and he would like for you to come and sing at his son's next birthday party. Mr. Stallone says. This was directed by George Cosmatos, which we called George Comatose in joking.
Yeah.
Because we got the name wrong. Come to find out, the crew actually called him George Comatose because he didn't do a damn thing on the movie.
No, it was all Stallone.
According to the whole crew and cast, Stallone did it all.
Yeah. The guy was just kind of there.
Right. And he basically had to direct the second unit and shit. And whenever Stallone was around, they said the guy was an absolute fucking tyrant. And everybody hated him.
And then when Stallone was around, he just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Of course, they did have a lot to say about, or certain cast members anyways had some things to say about Stallone too, about how he was trying to impress Brigitte Nielsen, he had a lot of bodyguards,
yeah.
And he wasn't taking a lot of things very seriously, but it was the 80s. You know, it's way...
Different time.
Shit was different, much different.
Different time period.
In this movie, Lieutenant Cabretti investigates the Night Stalker and has to protect the only witness to the killings, while the Night Stalker, meanwhile, and his cult are trying to get her.
It's a gang of them.
Mm-hmm. Also starring Brigitte Nielsen, because Stallone was trying to bang her, as Ingrid, and Brian Thompson as the Night Stalker, who actually had to audition 7 times, and Stallone didn't want to give him the role because they said he was too nice.
I can't see it in this film.
Yeah, he did a really good job. The first thing that I love about this movie is it's a Canon film.
Oh, yeah.
Canon is, of course, no longer a real company. But, man, and I know a lot of people give them shit for making subpar movies. But a lot of their movies, we loved it as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Another Stallone flick, Over the Top.
Oh, yeah.
For me, of course, and I know you too, Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
I mean, come on, that was our fucking movie.
I don't care what people say about that movie. I love that movie.
And I'm also one of the few people that think Superman 4 is kind of fun. They did Superman 4 as well.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
On a $25 million, this movie made $160 million in the box office. Even though it was a box office smash, the critics, of course, still hated it.
Of course they do. They hate everything.
Yep. Everything that we like, they hate. So,
yeah.
And I guess you consider myself a critic now since I do this. But I say, well, fuck me too.
Yay!
Believe it or not, this movie had to be edited down to a rated R version. There is another version of this film that we will probably never see that is about what did they say how much time it was? It was taken out of the film, like 30 or 40 minutes?
Something like
30 or 40 minutes of nothing but carnage, blood and guts. That they had to edit it down to get an R rating because the studio refused to put it out as is.
I don't know what their problem is at times. Like, come on. Just give us what's there.
The last really cool thing about this movie, besides our pros and cons and the movie itself, is that this movie had a Commodore 64 video game. I thought that's fucking cool.
That is cool.
It was probably one of the last games they made, you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably good luck finding it.
Guys, overall, we love this film.
This is a great movie. It is.
It's a great action movie. It's a
Yes.
great 80s movie. And it's a lot of fun. And me, I'll never forget the ting ting, ting ting, which was actually a scene that was not supposed to be in the film at the beginning.
That was one of the scenes they had to redo.
That's something they had to redo. What they were going to do was show all the cult members doing their different jobs around the city.
Yeah, I don't get why they didn't do that. I think that would have been cooler.
I don't know.
Just to give it more of this.
Maybe they didn't think it would come across like people wouldn't just get it by seeing the tattoos. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, but to see just that your normal everyday person doing their job isn't always what they seem.
Pros and con time?
Yeah, let's start with cons because we really don't have a lot to say as far as cons for this film.
I don't have any. Sorry.
I've just got one, and it's kind of a nitpicky con. They're waiting for Stallone and what's her name?
Brigitte Nielsen?
They're waiting for Stallone and Nielsen.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting for Stallone and Nielsen in a car, and one of them is just sitting there with a shotgun hanging out the window in broad daylight. And nobody's going to notice this?
I think they were kind of going for that, even though it's the 1980s in LA, it's kind of like the city is being run by the bad people.
Yeah, but still nobody notices
know.
this and cares. Hey, come on, I know it's nitpicky, but come on, that's kind of...
Yeah, 1980s.
Yeah. Other than that, I really don't have any cons for this film. I got none.
I have none either. I thoroughly enjoy this movie. Every time I've watched it, I loved it. I just picked up it on Scream Factory recently. Really happy about that. And that's yet another point of it being a horror film is Scream Factory put it out.
It got a Scream
instead
Factory
of Shout
release.
Factory. Yeah.
But there's also another one on that's a Scream Factory release that definitely doesn't belong on there is Starman. John Carpenter's Starman.
Now the reason for that though is because Scream Factory has this thing with John Carpenter.
I know,
and
but it's
they
not
do
a horror.
almost all of his films.
It still should have been a Shout Factory because it's not a horror at all.
Speaking of which, they got more of those at Walmart. I went back. I had to pick up another copy of Roadhouse for Jay.
Yeah.
So they had one copy of Roadhouse, so I picked that up for him.
Okay.
They have Firestarter there again.
Oh yeah.
And
It's got the
they have
slip case
slip
this
covers.
time.
Yeah, Jay told me I should buy it and just return it. Just take the slip cover off and return it.
Oh.
Always trying to get away with shit.
Yeah.
Getting into pros, guys. This is just something we joked about, us having a little bit of fun. It's nothing real. But the first bad guy in the film, the first killer of the film, he does the first kill of the movie, he's a Broncos fan. He shoots the guy in the back wearing the Raiders hat.
Yeah. Yes,
so we were just fucking around joking, oh, he must be a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
You know, so that, honestly, this pro is just that we had enjoyment out of it, that we were having fun watching the movie. The movie is just a blast. But that opening sequence did really establish the tone of this film in a really good way.
Yeah.
It showed that Cobretti was going to come in and spit his one-liner and kill some motherfuckers, and that was going to be it. This whole movie was just going to be balls-to-the-wall action.
Exactly, and that's the big pro of mine is that this is what this movie is. I actually wrote that down. This movie is just balls-to-the-wall action, and it never lets up.
You could tell we grew up together because we use the same phrases a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, same music.
Balls to the wall.
I know, never sing again.
Nah, you're not bad. You gotta do with that, high-pitched Brian Johnson. Balls to the wall!
You never sing again.
That hurt my throat.
Yeah, you never sing again. No.
Pro for me, the one-liners and the dialogue.
That's a pro for me.
Pure
too.
80s fucking cheese. Absolutely loved it. They wrote this film really well. I had a blast with it. They really did. Whoever wrote this movie for Stallone, I don't remember the screenwriter's name. And I know Stallone did rewrites because they said that Stallone came in and did multiple rewrites during shooting. That they just were going for that. Let's just have some popcorn and let's just have some carnage.
Let's have fun.
Yep.
Okay, big pro of mine for this film. If you grew up in the 80s and you love 80s films, you get what you pay for here. This is just pure 80s gold when it comes to cinema. And there's a lot of things. It's the non-stop action, the one-liners, badass car chases, the just everything just being over the top. The actors and actresses of that era.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
The only thing that could have made this movie more 80s is if it had a cartoon based on it. Because in the 80s, all rated R movies seem to get cartoons based off of
Rambo,
Conan.
Conan.
You know, hey, let me go
Rambo.
fuck this blonde, kill some motherfuckers with my giant fucking sword, and then go sell some cartoons to kids.
Yeah, gotta love it.
RoboCop.
Oh yeah, RoboCop had a cartoon.
They even did, if you watch that, they did the fucking him getting shot to pieces scene.
Wow.
Yeah, they changed it a little bit. They made it like laser guns or something.
Yeah.
But he's still getting
not
like
graphic.
No, it was pretty graphic actually.
Huh.
We'll find it. We'll find it. It's not like total blood and gore, but it's for a kid's cartoon. Yeah.
It was pretty violent.
Yeah, it was a bit violent. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
anyways, getting off on, but yeah, that's the only thing that could have made this more 80s.
Oh, Toxic Avengers. Remember that had a cartoon.
Yep, Toxie had a cartoon.
Toxie had a cartoon.
And I've gone over this before. My next pro is I think that this movie has a great horror movie feel.
Okay.
We get a lot of very dark night scenes with the killer going after people. We get, like I said, the whole cult clanging the axes together. It feels very horror movie-ish.
Okay.
Even the final fight is inside this giant foundry.
Yeah.
That looks like it could have came right out of a horror film. I mean, you know, that's just me. That's what I'm saying. Awesome.
I could see the horror film aspects of this film, but mainly I'd say more leaning action film than horror. But I do see the horror aspects. I really do. But to segue off that, my next pro for this film is the cinematography of this film. The lighting is great in this film, in the nighttime scenes or in any scene where it's indoors, where it's dark. It's not too dark, it's perfectly lit to where you can see what's going on, and the sets are great.
I love Cobretti's apartment, how it's like right off the beach.
Yeah.
And there's like neon signs right next to him, and he's all like looking like a 1950s fucking biker or some shit. Even his car, oh my god, the car.
Oh yeah.
That's a pro in itself.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, that's a great car.
And guys, you know what? That is my last pro. It's the car. The car was owned by Stallone, the actual car.
Yep.
0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds. Okay? They also made 4 other replica cars.
To trash.
To trash or shoot this shot or that shot or whatever. But there was the one car that Stallone did own, and I think that's just fucking cool that he used his own car in the film.
Hell yeah.
And that Bantam is just fucking sick.
Nice. Alright, my last pro for this film, I love the end of this film. The end finale scene is amazing. I love the whole foundry scene. I love the way that their fight went and how he dies, getting impaled. It's just a fucking awesome scene all around.
Yeah, that's great. Well, guys, that is it for our thoughts on Cobra. We really enjoyed this movie. If you by chance have not seen this film,
go see it.
We definitely recommend it.
Yes.
Pick it up at your local Walmart right now on Scream Factory, which is fucking cool that they started putting Scream Factories at Walmart. Every once in a while we find one before.
Every now and then.
But now we're seeming to get more. I've even heard they put the Omen box set. In fact, I know they did because I saw it once. But somebody told me that it's at their Walmart for $30, where the Walmart I saw it at was for $60. So, don't know. The Omen box sets at Walmart. There's different things at Walmart. Go and check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, this is BroncoJuggalo saying go and check out the Teespring store, where you can get all kinds of badass merch. And for myself, I'm saying peace.
And this is Bill saying good night.
Talking about mob shit. Couple $100 grand, nah, it ain't much. One phone call, you can get touched. Jimmy gave Tommy a to-do list. Good fellas always got a full clip. Keep the family